What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. My name is Colin Kelly of Track World News and our distance version. Today we got Vincent Crisp. Everyone knows him as he's hating the 800, but somehow, some way, does amazing in it. So, Vincent, thank you so much for joining us.
No, for sure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I know it's been a busy schedule with you, and we will definitely get into it. Don't want to ruin any questions. So, let's just start right from the beginning. Talk about your high school. Talk about being from North Carolina, because obviously, you get some stud runners out there, but it was no like shy for you. You were one of the top guys right away. It felt like. Well, take us back to before you even track and field, before you even knew you hated the 800. Talk about what got you into it. Was it a family member? Was it a rivalry with your friend? Whatever it may be. Just give us a little background on what was going on in Charlotte, North Carolina.
I started off playing football. I played football, wide receiver, corner, even a little running back from like 8 years old to 13 years old, pretty much. And I got to middle school and my team was losing, right? We were losing and I hated it. And then I wasn't even playing. So I was like, I'm not even playing. We're losing. I need to find something else. And my mom was like, you got to get a scholarship. You ain't got no other choice. She's like, I ain't got no money for you. You need a scholarship. And she ran track and got a track scholarship. So I said, I pursued track. I thought I was going to be a sprinter. I go out there, I get blasted in 100. And then this was like tryouts. We had middle school tryouts. And I went out there and ran like a 4 in the 800. I mean, in the 800, I ran like a 2:45, I think. I was in like 7th grade. And they put me with the distance team. And then I ended up being a miler all the way from 7th grade to 10th grade. I was a miler, straight 1,500. Couldn't run the 8 for my life. And then my coach was like, well, you got two options, either try in the 8 or I'm going to put you in the 2-mile. And I thought he was bluffing. I ran the 2-mile 3 times. I said, all right, I'm tired of this. I'm going to try this 800. And ever since then, I've been an 800-meter runner.
That's usually how it always goes. It starts off with like, I'm going to do track. I'm going to be the sprinter. Around our time, like we're fairly close in age, where it was like, I want to be next Usain Bolt, Justin Gatlin,
Yeah.
all that. And then we get blown out of the water and it's like, okay, so what's next? Because like I can't throw. Look at me, I can't throw. So a lot of us go to the jump. So it's really cool to always hear that like a lot of distance runners have a very similar. But now obviously you didn't say anything about cross country. Was there anything? Did you still do like football? Were you just like staying conditioned?
Oh, I didn't do anything during the fall. That was one of the things people are so, I guess, impressed about. I really, from, AAU last, 'cause I didn't run high school track until my senior year of high school. I ran AAU from middle school all the way up. And, season is from about March all the way to August. So from September to December, I did, or actually from, I guess September all the way to February, I didn't do anything. I just, went to school. And then track AAU came around, it was time to go.
Yeah, that's very impressive. Is there like back then? Obviously, I know indoor track is just a big thing now. Was there like more just AAU indoor track and field, or something of like a high school team? Because now I was even talking to like even Hannah Steelman and different runners, and they were saying how high school back then is just like it feels like it's a total different world. Like I don't remember mile split being as big as it is, or runner space or anything like that. Like, I don't know if you can talk a little bit on that. Like, do you think it'd be something that would help you, like someone to like get more college recognition, or not?
Yeah. Yeah. So my junior year, I did indoor track in my high school, and they kept putting me on so many relays. I wasn't really getting any open times. And my mom, it was so used to me getting running a 400, 800, 15, 4x4 at the same meet, getting all my open times rather than just running a 4x8, maybe 1,000, and then a 4x4. She's like, he needs to run more opens because, college is looking at open times, not relays.
Yeah.
And so she took me out for outdoor track. She was like, they're putting you too many relays. We're going back to AAU. You run your opens. And after you sign, then you go do the relays with them. So then I signed to Texas Tech after my junior year. So then I came back and we won a 4x2 state title out of my senior year of high school.
That is insane. And then you were also USATF 800 champ, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so that was my freshman year of college. I'm a little young for my grade, so I went to college like 17, but I still got to compete at juniors and end up winning that, fortunately.
Yeah, I mean that's still sick. I mean, even though you're still young and being able to go into the juniors and win that, it's still something that anyone would love to do. Um, so you do indoor, you do outdoor, you have all these recognitions of running these insanely fast times as a high school. I mean, 48, 49, the 400, 150, and the 800. That's not something to just be like, oh, okay. So I can only imagine why you know Texas Tech took you, but the question now is why did you like what was it? What was the selling point for you for Texas Tech? Because obviously they were not the only team. Let's face it, they were definitely not the only team that wanted you.
Yeah. So I always tell people I had two things that was non-negotiable. Full ride, and I'm not running cross country because I didn't run cross country in high school. I'm not running cross country in college, and I didn't, like I said, my mom didn't have the money for me to go to college, so I had to pay for myself. So
Yeah.
full ride or nothing. And the schools that offered me that was like University of Miami and Texas Tech. And I chose Texas Tech just because one of my teammates, that's my teammates now, Charles Jones, CJ, he was one person that talked to me. He was like the star at AAU. He still has the AAU national record to this day. So it was really big. I was like, I'm gonna go train with him. I'm gonna be like him. I'm gonna run fast like him. He ran 149 in high school, So since he was already there, I knew I was gonna have a training partner compared to Miami was just now getting their men's program started up. So I really didn't have anybody to train with. I think the fastest guy there was 154. And like you said, I was a 150 guy in high school. So I wanted to go somewhere where I can get better and train with people that's faster than me instead of staying somewhere where I'm just the fastest guy running reps by myself.
Yeah, you want some type of challenge coming out of high school. You don't want to be the top. I mean, it's nice to be the top dog, but it's nice to work to be the top dog.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I could have went to Virginia Tech, or Georgetown. Those are my two options, or LSU as well. And again, Texas Tech just really felt like home to me when I took the visit.
I can't believe they said no to cross country. I just feel like that's just such a thing. Like you do the 8, you do the mile, like or the 15 too. Like you have to do cross country. So just like again, it's just so impressive, but also it just helps for you as now a professional athlete, and also when you're in college, being able to use that fall season when all the other, like I said, 800 milers are running 8K, 10K. You're in the gym, you're getting in that, you're still building base mileage, but you're going to the gym and you're like, I want to talk a little bit more about that, but in a second. Something I wanted to talk about that I talked to Cade Flatt about 2-3 weeks ago was when you look now back at high school, even like to this day, because, a lot of high schoolers look up to you, a lot of college kids look up to you. What is something you see that's different now that you're just like, man, I kind of wish that was something that we had? And on the flip side of it, what's something you see now that you're like, wow, like glad that was not around when we were around? If it could be an event, if it can be like, just like the pressure that's on these kids, or, sometimes people think it's the NIL deals.
Yeah. Honestly, watching like Cade Flatt and these other big races in high school and they have pacers, that is what I wish we had in high school because we didn't have pacers. We had to do it solo dolo by ourselves. If you wanted to run fast, I come from the generation, my class was John Lewis, Donovan Brazier, Carlton Orange, that's Miles Marshall. And these guys are to take it out. And, at New Balance Nationals, John took it out in 49-1. Like it wasn't no pacer for them. He just went for it. One time I went out 50 point by myself. And this is in high school. Donovan's going out 51. And we didn't have pacers for that. It was just do it yourself. So I wish we did have pacers. I wonder how fast my class could have went with just, sitting on somebody for 600 and then the last 200 letting it go.
Talk about, I guess now you say something about paces and kind of bring something to my head. Talk about all these, like obviously with the Under Armour now, you guys have the velocity shakedown, and then also the dragonflies. What do you think? What would happen if you gave little like junior, senior year Vincent Chris a Nike Dragonfly and just said, all right, here, go ahead. What do you think? Like, or like the Donovan Brazier, you know what I'm saying? Like, though, like, how lucky do you think these kids are?
Man, I would have broke 150 for sure. Yeah, I would tell you that right now. I would have broke 150 for sure. I was running it. I don't even know what kind of my spikes is breaking down. I remember one time I was running the 400, my big toe popped out. So I know for sure I'm breaking 150. Donovan probably breaks the national high school record, to be honest. I wouldn't put it past him, especially coming back the next year running 143 as a
Mhm.
freshman. So I think Donovan breaks the high school national record. But I for sure break 150,
Oh, 100%.
100%.
Yeah. What are we running? Like the Nike Vicks, I think. Like that's
Yeah, yeah, little
that's
Nikes busting out of those.
got nothing of them. Nothing. It's just
Yeah.
something they put on. I don't know if you had anything to add on to the second part of the question, which was like something that you see now about the high schoolers, because something that popped in my head is like, seeing all these kids, and not even the NIL deals, but talking about the pressure that all these high schoolers have on them to like the Cade Flats. I mean, Cade Flat said it in the interview himself. He put the pressure on himself, but like everyone was watching to make sure to see if he was going to break that record. Like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think we should put a little less pressure on the kids. So like flow track wasn't as big, mile split wasn't as big. And we had our little, they're gonna race them showdown. So you felt that pressure, but then it's like everybody, you got the whole work. We didn't race pros, we weren't racing pros at the time. So it's like,
Hell no.
yeah, we're looking at, you got 4 Under Armour people and then you got a high schooler right behind them. Like the pressure of having to race pros is ridiculous. Like, I mean, I raced college kids a very few times in high school, and that already was a lot of pressure as itself. Is like this dude is 21 and I'm 16. And we're about to go hit toe to toe compared to now we're 24, 25, all the way up to 30, and he's 18 years old, So I mean, some people can thrive through that pressure, but that like it is a lot of pressure on kids going into pro races and everybody looking at you saying, we want you to be the next the next generation to lead us through. And it's like you said, it's a lot of pressure for these young kids out here with all this social media.
Yeah, no, I think the crazy thing too is I remember talking to Rachel MacArthur about it. Is she was saying how, you know, she had so much fun in high school because high school cross country and track and field is supposed to be fun. The hard
Yeah,
part and the most stressful part is college because you're being technically paid. They're paying for your school, and then also professional running. It's like it's so sad. I mean, it's awesome to see these kids are doing things that I could only imagine, but then it's also sad to see like it takes a toll on these kids. I mean, you saw even the young brothers when they had when they went to cross nationals, and it was like I think it was Lex made it and Leo didn't, and it was like people were, I mean, grown adults were just like, oh, they're overrated, and it's like these kids are 18.
these kids are exactly. Yeah, you got people like going crazy on Twitter about you saying you're too cocky, or like social media was big for our like Instagram just came in and everything like that, but it's not as big as it is now.
Nah, no, the platforms are crazy. So I guess okay. I'm glad we're on the same page there. Okay, now going into like Texas Tech, obviously you come in and you don't, like I said, you don't have to worry about cross country. What's your mindset? I can only imagine you're working with probably the 400 coach, just middle distance coach. What's the switch now that you're like, okay, I was that guy. Now I got to be like, what did you do to make it to go that next level?
So my freshman year, I go into it. I'm like, I was a 150 guy, so I'm like, after college, I want to break 147. If I can break 147 out of college, I think I did a good job. Keep my scholarship and all that fun stuff. And so like during the fall, I never really had a fall train doing mile repeats. Like I was like, what is that? Like so doing mile repeats, 1,000 repeats, and all that fun stuff. I was just trying to compete with the guys, stay close with them. And then like you said, I went to juniors that year and I ended up running 146. So that my mind was blown after that. Like I didn't know if I came into college running a 147 and my freshman year I run 146. I was just like, well, what's the goal now? So,
Yeah.
it was just about pretty much just working as hard as I could, to be honest, and in the fall, because I really, like I said, I never ran cross country. I never did anything during the fall. So I never really had that base training like everybody else had. So it was just really training hard in the fall and getting ready for the spring.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess now going into, want to go into a little bit of the races and everything. I guess I'll ask before that, was it college? Was it high school? Or was it, no, it had to have been somewhere in between high school and college. When did you start hating the 800? I mean, when did that come about? Because it's a joke and I understand it, but like, it's also just something I remember from when because I came in a year after you, and I remember seeing that name being like, it's just a joke account. And then I'm seeing you running like you said, 146. I'm like, what does this mean?
It started after my freshman year of high school. I mean, freshman year of college. Somebody hacked my account, and I had to make a new name. It was like All American or something like that, and I had to make a new name. And after every 800, it's 98%. No matter how fast I run, no matter how slow I run, I'm throwing up after. It doesn't matter if it's a prelim, a final, a semi. It's coming up. So after that, like this stuff hurts. Like, and I think that's why I say like, no, I could, even to this day, like I'm a 145 guy for around 149. I have thrown up after 149 like this past year, and it's just bad. So the 800-meter hurts for real. That's like after my freshman year of college, and I just every race was some stuff was coming up. I said 800-meter hurts.
That's so funny. But you can say it's like a love hate, right? You gotta say.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I still love it to this. I think it's the hardest race of track and field. And it's not a lot of people can do it. And it's one of the hardest events to learn how to run. And you can run it in so many different ways. It's a unique event. And like I said, not a lot of people can do it. Even like I coach now and trying to coach kids to run the 800. I mean, it took me 6 years to even figure out how to run the 800. So like I said, 800-meter hurts, but it's a fun hurt.
Yeah, I was just about to. You took it right out of my mouth. I was going to say minus the 800 because as a fellow 800 runner, I agree. I think 800 meters, but that could just be me being biased. That I think 800 meters is the hardest event. If you had to pick something other than the 800, just off of visuals and talking to your teammates, what is the hardest event?
Okay, so this is my breakdown of the hardest events. I think people always want to argue that it's the 400, 800, 400-meter hurdles.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest thing I always say about both the 400 and 400-meter hurdles is you stay in your lane the whole time. Mm-hmm. It's one of the events that you don't have to worry about getting bumped by anybody else. You literally just people like, just worry about your lane. I can't do that in 800 because if I go in the middle of the pack and get tripped up, spiked up, all this, and you're trying to run fast, like you're sprinting. Like we said, we're going 49 to 50 the first 400 meters. You get touched by anybody, it breaks everything down and you just lost all your momentum. And like you can say the same thing about a hurdle, but that hurdle ain't moving. Mm-hmm. You know that. You can count your steps to a hurdle. I can't count my steps to a person running the 800 next to me because he's trying to go out in 52. He's getting boxed in. He's shoving. He's getting too many people around. And you get boxed in, you're done. You got to speed up, speed down. Yeah. It's not like you can stay in your own lane in the 800. So that's why I say it hurts the most because you got to speed up, speed down, kick at the right time. It's a lot more things you got to think about than just my own lane. I got to think about 7 other guys in the race compared to my own lane.
Yeah, because like you said, you're going 49, you're going 50, 51, and you get hit.
It's over with. You lost all that momentum, and now you're running 148. You're like, well, I tried.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I mean, you see it in so many races. You see it in not just like high school or college. You see it in worlds. You see it in Olympics. No matter what, it affects. And it's not just one athlete sometimes. It affects everyone.
The whole pack, yeah.
Yeah, I get okay, cool. Like I said, this is why I need this interview. Like I need someone at your level to agree with me.
Yeah. Hardest event for sure, 100%. No guarantee.
All right. So talk us through now. You come in, you do your thing your freshman year. You hit a goal that you thought about going at the end of your college career. Your second team, you're got all these All-American teams and everything. What is that next, bring us to, obviously you make it on nationals. What is the difference now? Because now you're getting invited to go to these bigger meets like worlds. And I know you were going to go to trials in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. You were supposed to go and then you couldn't go due to injury, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, no. So 2016 is when I made the junior team and I won and I ran 146.9 and they were like, well, you qualify for the Olympic trials. You want to go? And I was like, nah, I'll just, get ready to go, compete with my team in juniors. I think it was me being a little scared too, knowing like I run 146, but like people were running 143, 144 at the time. I'm like, I'm not making that team. That's more 800s I got to run. I'm just going to get ready to go over to Poland and enjoy my time and compete for the USA.
Got it. Okay. So, because I remember seeing your post this last time you made it to Worlds and you were saying, okay.
Yeah, I qualified. I just didn't want to go again. I was 18 years old. I was a little scared. And also I already made the team for junior. So I could think about that.
So now you're going, like I said, now you're going through all your college career, you're running as fast as you never thought you'd be running this fast again. What was the switch in your head? You're like, this could be, that's how I make my income. This can be something post collegiate. Was it one specific race? Was it like when you, like I said, you were in college competing against some pros? Like, what was it that you were just like, wow, like, you know what? This is it. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Cause it's a big commitment. You're putting your body through hell.
Yeah, I love track and field. I think the really thing is my junior year, I ran at a meet and I ran a PR. Another guy ran a PR. He got second and he went pro. He signed a contract after that. And he said it was a decent deal. He got, lives comfortable off of that. I'm like, I just beat you. You ran that's your PR. So I'm like, my PR faster than your PR, and I beat you in that race too. Why can't it be me that go pro? At first I didn't think it was possible to try to go 143, 144. But I was a 146.3 guy at the time, and he went pro off of it. I was like, shoot, why can't that be me? And I'm a junior, so I still got my senior year coming up. I can run faster, and I can try to sign the college a pro deal as well.
Yeah. So now we're talking. About this could be it. This is what I want to do. When you then when that race happened, what was it that you were like, okay, next step is I got to run faster in 146, which is a blazing fast time.
Yeah.
What is that switch now? And then also, because this is now when the world is going to come to kind of a halt. What is it that, like, what now in your head, what's going on? Like what's going on now? Your senior year, the world's gonna be shutting down. Like, it is coming to a halt.
That's not my year. I missed that.
You were the year 2019.
2019.
Yeah, because then it happened indoor 2020. So now you're getting ready. You're just finishing up your indoor season. Like I'm saying, what happened then where you're just like, I have to, like, is it still what I want to do during COVID?
During COVID, yeah, for sure. I mean, I just got my first. I just signed the contract not too long ago, and then we ran at the JDL meet. I made some money. I made money. They gave us checks right after you get off the track, pretty much like an hour later. I'm like, I love this. You just run the 800, you getting $750 to $1,000 right when you walk off the track. You like, shoot, this is the life, And then at the time, Under Armour blessed me with doing at home workouts for people. So I got to do that, and then we were getting those free checks. So I was at home living lavish, man. I love COVID, but at the same time, I was still practicing. Like coach still at that. He's like, a meet might come up. A meet might come up. It might not be nobody in the stands, but it might happen. So we're gonna stay ready, so we don't got to get ready. So we were, they shut down all the tracks in Virginia. We're running outside of Dick's Sporting Goods and just running 1,000 repeats and stuff like that, getting ready for. We don't know if a meet's gonna happen or not, but we're getting ready for it. And luckily, we still did get a run about 2 or 3 meets during COVID year.
Yeah, I was going to say, was it something that, because obviously you just seem like a guy who has that right mindset of like, I want to be the best. I don't care if I have to wait 2-3 years or if I got to go do it tomorrow. Do you think having those right teammates from the Under Armour team, the right coaches, like talk about how important that is, especially during such a difficult time where you're separated, everything's virtual. I mean, talk about how important it was to have that team and that coaching staff behind your back so that you could be doing stuff like you are right now.
I love my coach to death. My coach is the best coach, in my opinion, one of the best coaches I ever had. And just because he has one of those mindset, there's no excuses for anything. He doesn't care if it's COVID. He don't care if you're sick and bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can always do something. Like I said, they shut down all the tracks, they shut down all the trails, and he was like, I don't care, we're getting this work in. And it's the same way now. If like flight gets canceled or you get a positive COVID test, but it's false negative, you're getting this work in. So one thing that I love is like he built it in my head that there's no excuse. You can always find a place and time to get the work in. Like you're not busy 24 hours out of the day. You can save an hour or two to do something. Mm-hmm. So that's the biggest. And then my teammates, I mean, they all thrive and they all want to be Olympians and Olympic medalists. And some have already been, to the Olympics and world championships. So I'm surrounded by people that have already made it and done it before compared to, I haven't, but I have great teammates that already have, so they can lead me the way and show me what it takes to get there. And that's saying, like, I'm just really picking apart their brain and they're showing me mentally how to get there. Because they say track is 99% mental. And when you hang around people that are already making the Olympics and world championships, that you just want to be like them, if not better than them.
Mhm. No, yeah, because I remember even when you first joined that team, like it was kind of a low key team, but you saw the studs that were on there. You're like, this team's going to be something special. And honestly, I would love to see a 4x8 out of that team. That'd be
They
a,
don't want to see us in a 4x8. They don't want to do that.
I'm
Nobody
telling
want to do
you,
that.
that'd be
Nobody want to do
great.
that no more.
Or a mix, like a mixed 4x8, a DMR, dude. I'm telling you, like that. I don't know. In my mind, that'd be so cool to get like, Under Armour versus On versus Nike. Like that'd be sick. Honestly, in my mind.
I'm telling you, they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. Nobody want to. If it's a all US team, yeah, I don't want to do that. They don't want to do that.
I'm
They can
just
try. They don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. There was an article that came out last year, and it was like all these guys that have the different groups that can put together in America, and we weren't even on the list.
Yeah.
We didn't make the list, and we were like, "Are you serious right now? We got 144 guys, 144, 145 guys. Like what? Why are we on the list? And so we like, we'll put it together. We'll come. We'll do it. We want to do it, but nobody ever wants to set it up. So whenever somebody calls us out, we are ready up for the challenge.
Listen, I'm telling you, that's like one team. I remember everyone's always talking about the On group. Everyone's talking about the Nike.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I see your guys' workouts. I see your little snippets all the time. I'm like, yo, these guys are gonna be crazy. I'm telling you, get them in a 4x8 and it's gonna be game over. And I would put, if there was a bet on that, if DraftKings did something, I'd put all the life savings on. I swear.
I'm with you. Plus 100 odds. Baltimore.
Yeah, no.
I'm with it.
No, yeah, that's I think it's you guys are so for some reason underrated, but you're all just doing amazing things, and it's from 800 all the way up to 10K. I mean, you guys got very, very much wide variety, male and female. Let's talk a little bit now about the racing that you've been doing. Just take us and talk to us about this past year. Just give us a whole year and rewind. I mean, because you have just came out of I'm not gonna say you came out of nowhere, because that sounds like you were never relevant, because now it sounds like I'm being that article, which I'm not, I promise. But I remember you made the one video and you said it was a Penn Relays. You said, if I start working on my last 150, I can be you said 145 guy, 144?
Yeah, I said 144, 145 guy.
And I remember it was like maybe a month or two later, it was an Under Armour meet. I can't remember exactly where it was, but it was towards the end of the season. And you can just you literally see your last 150. There's something came and you were you right there. And then you said you spoke in existence. And I feel like ever since that Penn Relays video, it's just been an uphill for you, with, getting a US medal and everything. I mean, talk to us just about how it's all been for you this last year.
It all starts from 2016. Like I told you, at juniors, I ran 146 at 18 years old. Mm-hmm. And I didn't break 146 until this past year. So for 2016 all the way to 2020, what was that, 2022? So 6 years of running 146. And that was really what was getting in. Like, it was really getting to me mentally, that I thought I might stop. Because like I say, for 6 years, you're running 146 at the same time. Like, there's no way that I'm a freshman in college, 18 years old, in the same shape as 24 professional. It just didn't make any sense to me. So I thought about it a little bit, and it got to me. But finally, we got to U.S. championships last year, and I made the semi, and I was like, all right, we're getting somewhere. I finally made it past the prelim, made it to the semi, but then I didn't make it to the final. Mm-hmm. So my coach was like, we got to meet about a couple of days, 5 days in California. Be ready. And I told him, like, I was mad. Like, I didn't make the final. I thought I could make it. I thought I was really, really going to do it, because I ran for it 146 so many times that season, and I didn't make the final. So I had a lot of anger built up for that 5 days. So I came up to my teammate. He was like, I'm going to take you out in like 51.5. I said, no, take us out in 50 flat. I'm going for it. He said, okay. We go out 50. I go out 50.2, 116, and I'm just digging that last 75 meters. Because I remember I was like, I'm not running 146 anymore. I'm not running 146. And then I crossed the line and said, I personally saw 144, but then it came across that 145.0. I was mad but happy at the same time. I could have got a 144.99. It's our meat. They could have gave it to me.
That's what I mean. Come on, just a little,
Yeah,
little,
this is just get a little edge, a little wind to my back.
no one can say anything.
Yeah, 144.99. Let it ride,
Yeah.
But yeah, and ever since then, I just started having the confidence that I can compete with the guys that run 144, 145.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that having that confidence led into this indoor championships. And again, like the year before, I didn't make the final, so I changed my screensaver to "I'm tired of losing," and it's been like that for a year now. And I kept looking at it, because I was tired of losing. I was tired of not making semis, tired of not making finals, and I thought that I was, in good enough shape to do it. So I remember right before I got on that line for the prelim, I looked at my phone, said I'm tired of losing. I put it down. That's the last thing I saw before I made the final.
That's sick. That is so cool. I mean, it's just like you gotta say it's if you see people all the time putting up like I got something here on my board and everything. It's crazy to think that someone at your level is doing something that people do all the time, and it just takes that, like you said, it's a 99% of it is all mental. If you can just get past that barrier, because you broke one, you broke that barrier, and it's like nothing to you now. Now it's just like it's clockwork. And I mean, just watching that happiness, like you looked like a high schooler. You looked so happy when you got that, and I was like, it's kind of like you see the top two guys, you see, you're like, okay, yeah, like they've been there, but it's just see you do what you did, and it wasn't a slow time. It's not like you ran a 148 in medal. You ran a fast ass time, and at that point you looked like you loved 800, and it really showed. It just hearing that story. I mean, it shows that like it doesn't. Distance running is not an overnight thing. It takes years, and it shows with you. And I mean, it's gonna be so cool come outdoor season, and then come 2020, like come 2024 when Paris is coming around, because
that's what we're getting ready for. That's all me and coach talking about this year is just racing year. It's all we always been chasing after time, but this year is just trying to become a better racer. And I think we moved in the right step at USA Indoors, just becoming a better racer, competing well in the middle and fighting back. Going out decently high 51.5 inside of school, but knowing how to work that third 200 and finishing well with those guys. Just like I said, becoming a better racer.
Yeah, you look like you deserve to be there. You look like you meant to be there. You look like one of the top dogs, because you are. Let's just face it. I mean, you're gonna be on that list. I'll tell you that right now. If they make another one, you'll be on that list, and they're gonna be laughing when they see that. So, no, that's awesome. I know we talked about what has happened, and what the steps you had to take to get to that certain point. What is now the future? You're gonna take a little bit of downtime, obviously, get yourself mentally ready, enjoy what just happened, because it's a tall task to go towards. But I know you're still hungry. I know you want, like you said, you will be surround yourself around those teammates who want to be an Olympic medalist, Olympic champ, and I know you're one of those guys. So now going into outdoor season, what are some goals, and how are you going to get there now that you have that target on your back? You do.
Just like I said, becoming a better racer. That's the best thing that we can think about all season. Right now, we're not thinking about a time like we run 144, if we run 143, that's fine. But just knowing how to race well and knowing how to win races, or putting ourselves that top three. Because at the end of the day, top three make it the prelim, top three make it the semi, and top three make a team. So always being top three is the goal. Just knowing how to race, no matter if it goes out in 50.49 or it goes out in 53. The goal is always to take it out that's hot, that you don't have to worry about, a kicker's race or everybody's in it, take some people out of it. But just learning, what coach said, learning my body. That's the biggest thing we're teaching. I'm trying to learn this year, is that just having the effort of going out in 50 point, or having the effort going out at 51. No, it might not be 50, 51. It might be a 52 or 53, but it was the effort of going out in 50, 51. And most of the 99% of the time, if it's an effort of 50 or 51, you'll get it. But knowing how to react and just taking people out of races, and knowing how to react when people come up on you that last 200 meters, knowing how to go with them and keep that form together and finish the race.
Got it. Are we going to be seeing any 1500s?
Man, the first race is a 1500. I haven't ran the 1500 series since high school. So, it's going to be rough. I mean, I ran a 358 my junior year of high school, and after that, I think that's still my PR. So 16 years old, my PR is the 3:58 still. So we'll
You're
see. We
you're
hopefully
going
we can
faster
break
than that.
that.
Yeah, I'm very much hoping you can go faster than that.
Hey, we break 350, it's a good day. I'm telling you that. That's how I'm feel about it. We break
That's fine.
350, it's a
Hey,
good day.
that's still a good time. Hey,
That's a good
wrong.
day.
That's awesome. No, yeah, I was gonna ask you what. Sometimes, obviously, some teams like to keep it on under the rocks and everything, but it seems like you guys are just rolling with the punches. And I mean, is it is it gonna be out in the East Coast? You're gonna go out west, or
No, we're staying local for this one. 1,500, we don't need nobody else to see this. You don't got, I don't need to
it
go
ain't gonna be
nowhere on
streamed?
TV. Yeah, no. Go give me some college meet where nobody cares at all, and I'm just out there running for fun. That's what we need. The time trial. Yeah, we're not. This shouldn't be a 1,500, 350 should not be televised. No, not even close.
Yeah, I actually think speaking about local races, I actually because I went to Mount St. Mary's, I actually think I saw you one time. You ran. It might have been last year, or the year prior. You ran a 400 at George Mason. I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing it. I'm like, yo, damn, like, why does he look mad familiar? And why is he not wearing it like an actual uniform? And I was like, oh, that's the guy that hates 800. I remember that. Because I was scared. I was like, yo, if he's in the 800, like, I'm gonna get my cheeks clapped. I know I am. I know I am. I was like, and I saw you were in the 400. I was like, oh, he's messing some other kids up. All right, cool. I'm chilling. No, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
yeah, just go to like a George Mason or go to like a
Yeah, probably George Mason, something or UNBC, something like that, just to get a good 1,500 in.
yeah. Cool. Well, I mean, it's kind of all the questions I had from my point. I got some fan questions. If you're down for them too.
Yeah, let's hear him.
All right. Let's start with a lot
Oh
of them are
Lord.
about dancing, just so you know.
Of course they are.
I'll start with just because this one is how it Wild Dot Neo Tenny. Best dance move.
My best dance move.
Like if you're at Worlds or at Olympics and you're not scared to break this one out because you're like, this is it. This is my thing.
I'm pretty bad at all of them. I just do them. And I know it's like bad, but I mean, if I want to, like I was saying, if I make the world final and that camera's in my face, I'm a boy, a boy. It's all
Yeah.
in the hips, man. It's all in the hip, and I've been practicing.
No.
People have been making fun of me because of JDL. My hips wasn't moving, but I've been practicing in the mirror. So when that camera get in my face, I'm ready to go crazy, dog. I'm trying to tell you.
But yo, that I remember you posted that and everyone like Mile Split, Runner Space, we posted about it. Like every podcast was posting about it. I'm surprised ESPN didn't post about it.
I did it worse than Kelsey from the Eagles, man. It was bad, but
you broke it down. And I was like, yo, he because you went for it. You were not holding back. I would have done too.
And then
hey,
yeah,
I would
it was good.
All right, so we're probably gonna see that then. Sounds good. This one is from Karen C. Power. Who's the first person that comes in your mind when the race is over?
My coach, 100%.
Your coach.
I'll be like, where's my, especially like if it's a good race, where's my coach at? I know he got some good stuff to say. I know he said, like, when I ran that 145.0, I literally stopped. I seen CJ. I was like, yeah, what's up? I was like, but where's coach? Like, I know he's ecstatic. Like, we finally did it. And same thing, like when we made the final this indoor season, like nobody, I think that this might be my real like coach's first, I'm his first indoor medalist in the USA. So I was like, I know he's happy because we finally I was one of the first people that make the final, let alone getting the medal. So for him, I was thinking about like I think I made my coach proud. Like he does so much for us. He's at every practice, 9 o'clock in the morning, right there, ready to go. And he, like I said, never misses a practice and has no excuses and makes sure that we get the work in. And he commits so much to this sport that I was just happy for me, but I was also happy for him.
Yeah, no, I mean he's the one that trusted in you. He's the one that brought you on. I mean,
for sure.
I mean, first person you think of, and probably the first person you see. So
yeah.
All right. This one is from champion_boy_the_great. How do you feel about track life? Like just in general. The grind.
Track hurts. It hurts a lot. I don't know because I trained for the 800, but it hurts. And it's one of those things that like when you get to the meet, you have to perform. Like in my eyes, I know people they'd be like, "Oh, I'm so nervous," and they shut down and stuff. I was like, "Look, you put in work all the way from August to all the way into July. This is a year sport. You know, other sports they get to take off. We get 2 weeks off pretty much, and that's about it. So you're training the whole time. For you to get to this meet and then get nervous and not perform, be like I don't want to do this. It's crazy to me because, like I said, you work your butt off every single day. You know, at least 5 times out the week, and you gotta go perform. So that's the biggest thing for me. Like track is life. Like you got to eat right, sleep right, and it's like throughout the whole year. Like if you're not really committed to the sport, it's not really something you should do because it's like you put so much work in, you have to if you want to be good at the sport.
Yeah, and it's everything for a year just for that one moment.
Just I gotta act right from August to July to run a good 2 minutes.
Yep. That's track life. Real. And then
Yeah.
even the sprinters have 9, 10 seconds. That's it.
10 seconds. Imagine practicing 20 hours a week to get ready for 10 seconds in one day.
Yeah, but then they're done. We're not. So all right,
Yeah, no, they don't feel no pain.
we're not gonna talk.
I wish I was a long jumper. I know. I mean, you get 6 attempts. I ain't gonna get nervous all 6 of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that pole vault. I mean,
I'm hoping I get a little nervous. It's a lot. You get 19 feet in the air, shoot.
you get high, and you're upside down.
Yeah, I don't know how my neck gonna feel.
I've seen one too many of those.
Do you hear me?
Yeah. Hell no, I cannot.
Mhm.
All right. This one is from Justin Stuckey _. With all the sponsor stuff going on, how does he like UA and how they treat athletes?
I love us. I feel like they care about the athletes more than anything. And I feel like it's not about the money. I don't feel, about us showing off their gear, but they really want us to be better athletes. And I feel like, that's really what they thrive on. Under Armour really wants us to be better athletes and even the public to make better athletes. They're doing whatever they can do to make us better at what we love.
Yeah, I mean, it seems that you guys love it. It doesn't seem like, you see some of these guys and girls from other like high end, like, the Nikes, people always think of them like as the New Balance, everything. They see them and they're just like, they get hurt and then it's almost like they drop off the face of the earth, where I feel like you guys, it feels like Under Armour actually cares and wants to see you guys succeed even post track and field if they can help you in some type of way.
Facts. I mean, you see all these people like changing brands left and right. I'm not gonna say any names, but like people just like leaving their brand, going to a different brand. 99% of the Under Armour people, if they're done, it's because they're just done running. It's not because they're going to a different brand. We stay where we love to be, and they love us, we love them, so we're staying.
I mean, before I even ask this question, I mean, now that it's like, I gotta ask, just because we even asked something about it. You do see a lot of athletes changing. You see a lot of them change from Nike to, I mean, biggest one, Fred Kerley, the Asics.
Yeah.
And then, cruises into a 20. Do you seriously think that Nike is, it's losing its spot? Because I would say in the past 4 years, Nike was, they were the top guys. They were top tier. You got the best of the best athletes. And now you're seeing a lot of them leave. Do you think their title of best brand in running and track and field athletes is at risk? Or touchy subject?
No, I don't. I mean, they run the sport right now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so for right now, I'm going to say they're at the same position they're still at, just because their logo is on the USA uniforms. Every time we have nationals, it's going to be at a Nike complex some type of way, so they still are the main brand of this sport. Now, are they getting the best athletes? That's all debatable, but they are the brand of this sport right now. If it wasn't for Nike, we wouldn't be here. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that.
That's fair. We'll leave it at that. We'll go back to the fan questions. I had to ask. He said it, and I was like, I gotta see what he says. This one's from Ava Berg _. What are your thoughts on treadmill workouts for young runners?
This is one of my high school athletes. Get off the treadmill. No, well, if it's like just freezing cold outside and you need to like I said, you got to no excuses. You got to get the work in. If that's the best thing you can do, if it's -2 degrees outside, yeah, get on the treadmill. You know, if you're scared of a sketchy place outside, then yeah, get on the treadmill. Yeah, I like if you it's rare occasions to get on the treadmill. We're actually doing more treadmill running now, actually. As in my group, it's with lever running. You know, it's lever, it holds you up, it takes about 30 pounds off your weight, so you feel even lighter and you get some great workouts and just get your heart rate up. So actually lever running is good for you. I know a lot of great runners that use it, like, you know, so it's not bad for you, but for a high schoolers, get out and run. Like because you people see these times on a treadmill, like, oh my God, I was going 4:30 pace, and you're a 6 minute runner. Yeah, and it's like you go out there, you think you better go out there and run 4:30 pace, and it's not, it doesn't happen. So definitely I suggest for most high schoolers to go get some mileage in and run outside. But if it's some bad conditions, get on the treadmill.
Kind of makes sense now. I'm looking at some of the. I'm hoping that I think this one might be one of your athletes, but it's from K2 Boundless. How did this one says? How did you get so 800y?
What? Who says that? Oh, because I'd say because that actually is a great question because the 800-meter hurts is all my platforms, and now my slogan is keep it 800. So I think I just grown on the 800. Like I said, it's a love hate thing, and I think people. When I played my PS5, everybody called me 800 because my name is 800-meter hurts. So I think 800 just is with me now. You know, I feel like I live the 800. That's all I do, and like that's all I train for. So it's just keep it 800, man. So I think that's how I became more 800. When I changed it to all platforms and I started saying keep it 800, I was like, you know what? It flows. It flows. I'll take that.
800y, that kind of doesn't flow, but keep it 800. I like that.
No, I would never say 800D. I don't know what that is, but I do keep it 800 with you. Do you hear me?
That one makes I like that. Keep it 100. Keep it. I like that. Okay.
Yeah, don't keep it don't keep it 100. Keep it 800.
Keep it. I'm gonna start using that. I can't. Now I gotta. People are gonna be like, "Yo, what are you talking about?" I'll be like, "Don't even worry about it. It's an 800."
Yeah, it's an 800 thing. You don't understand.
No, go run an 800. You'll understand.
Yeah, facts.
All right, we will end it with. Gotta get a good one. This is kind of one that you said was a mindset. This one's from Chris. Tina XM. Did you ever get an injury from running, and how did you recover mentally and physically?
Oh, for sure. I done had some hip quad injuries that took me out for. Luckily, I haven't had an injury that took me out longer than like a 2 weeks. You know, pray, thank Jesus. But really, mentally, it's just like you feel like you're in great shape, and then you just get taken away from you. But the biggest thing about it is you get the drive to be back out there. I think a lot of people don't appreciate running until it's taken away from you. Like everybody's like, oh, I gotta wake up at 8 a.m. I gotta go to practice. I don't want to do these 10 500s. And then right whenever it's taken away from you, you feel like, I was like, oh, I gotta get out there. I'm losing in shape. I'm losing everything. So the biggest thing mentally is knowing that eventually you're gonna get back out there. But it's like it just sucks when it's get taken away from you, but it gives you that drive to come back and run even faster when you come back. I think even after like most of the time after an injury, I come back even faster. Literally both times. When I had an injury in college, uh, I came back and that's when I broke the collegiate record in the 600 yard. And then even my first year in pro, I got hurt. I came back and I PR'd. So it's just like you come back with that hunger, like, yes, I'm back out here. I'm ready to drive. So that's the biggest thing is like stay hungry and get ready to compete even harder.
No, yeah, that's you never know how much you love, like you said, love something until it's taken away from you, and that's one of the things. If it's you're using running as something to compete with, something just to do in school, or if it's something that you need to just go and just do to get your mindset out of it. I mean, it's something everyone can do. Catching that runner's high is a real thing, but as soon as you stop, because you have to, it's like, damn, like when am I going to get back out there? It's like you said, but if you stay hungry and everything, no, I love that. That's definitely something like I think everyone can take into, like, not even just a distance runner, like sprinter, distance runner, middle distance, race walker, jab throw, whatever it may be. Um, I guess I'll ask this last question just because I've asked the last two people. It's kind of a tricky question. The one question would be if you had to get rid of an event in the Olympics, but then you have to replace it with an event. Could be anything you can think of. What would it be? You can even put like esports into it. I'm just saying, like you can go as far as that. Get rid of something and add something. So I'll say this. Cade Flat said that he would get rid of the race walk and put in a K.
Okay. All right. So it got to be a track event. Okay. What event are we taking out? The mixed relay is not in the Olympics, right?
No, it's just
Mixed 4x4.
I think it's just in Worlds.
Okay, so we're keeping that. God dang, 1, 2, 4, 8, 400 hurdles. What's an event that nobody? I mean, how isn't it 2 race walks or is it only 1?
There's the 20K and I think the 50K if I'm not mistaken.
Well, take one of them out. You don't need both.
Okay.
Let's go ahead we'll take one of the race walks out and we're adding the 4x8.
4x8. I was expecting you to say DMR. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I'm not really a DMR guy. I don't know, especially with them 400 legs. I feel like all these people are getting national records with these 400 legs. And 400 legs is like, yeah, I'm like, man, you ran like 47 on that jump. Like, you didn't do nothing special. And so, yeah, DMR, I mean, nah, I feel like it don't get spicy in that DMR. It does. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of teams get took out of it by the mile leg. So, and it just be like that first, unless they slow down the pace and all that fun stuff. But when that 4x8, I just feel like it's gonna get down, it's gonna get dirty.
You got a 4x1, you got a 4x4, add the 4x8.
I think a 4x8, and also, it sucks that we see like there's 6, like there's relay pools. So 6 people go for the 100, 6 people go for the 4. It's like, shoot, you gotta get top 3 in this 8 and you done. And we're one of the most dominate, you used to be one of the most dominated in the country. So it's like, shoot, it's hard to make this team. Why don't you get a 4x8, take top 6?
Yeah, no, I think it'd be cool. I mean, I think it would be, there's enough athletes out there from every country that can represent a 4x8 team. And it'd be
for sure
very competitive. There would not be just one team out front. I mean, there's.
And like I said, you run the 800 in so many different ways that it's going to be like, where do you put this person first leg, anchor? Like, I mean, because if let's say you get a big lead, you can't put a kicker that doesn't really take it out at anchor leg because he's just going to chill and wait for them to catch up. You got to put a person that goes out and gets out to make that lead even bigger and race is over.
I think Under Armour should just put that to be an Olympic team. It's on our team.
Yeah, I mean, we tried to set it up this indoor season, see if we can break the national record. We didn't set it up because we didn't have everybody healthy, but next year we'll shoot for it.
Damn. Look at that. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first. Track World News.
Baltimore 800 national record holders. 365 days.
I'd say I'd love for the whole Under Armour team, the A team, but I mean, you're going to be in the Olympic. You're going to be on the U.S. team, the 800, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's the goal, man. Like I said, just becoming a better racer, staying humble, keeping my head straight, and not letting this. I mean, it's a great achievement, but we got bigger goals.
Gotta love it. My old coach always says you give yourself 24 hours. I guess for you, a U.S. medal, like, you can give yourself 48, 72 hours to
72.
Yeah, you can appreciate it. But like I said, man, I'm super excited. I've always been a fan of you. Just talking to you, man. Like, you're just some guy that I just want to see. I want to see you shoot to the moon, and I can say I had your back, even though I'm just a guy that's
no, for real. I mean, hey, y'all, check this guy out, man. He hit me up before the UA. He's not one of the people that's like, oh, you got a medal? Can I get an interview? Before I even took the trip out there, he's like, hey, I want to interview you and talk to you. I was like, yeah, I got you after the USA trip, and came back with the medal. So I appreciate you, man.
Hell yeah.
You're not a groupie.
I'm glad you had my back right there, because everyone would think that I'm just going on the bandwagon. Let's go. All right.
Yeah, man.
Cool. Well, dude, this was awesome. This was really cool. Do you have anything else to say? Anything coming up? Anything you want to say to the viewers? Your high schoolers, whatever it is, shout outs, whatever you want to do. This is your time to say.
Yeah. Shout out to Under Armour. Shout out to Charlotte Heat Track Club. That's my AU team out of Ride or Dodge. And always, man, we don't keep it 100. We keep it 800. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir.
You about to see him breaking down some moves. and worlds. You heard it here first. 4x8 indoor world record holders here soon. Don't worry about it. No, man, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, all right. This was Track World News. Colin and Vince, keep it 800.
Yes, sir. Keep it 800 with